Testing. Microphone check. Testing. Doesn't seem too bad. Let me know, guys, if the music's too loud. It started pretty soon here. I'm just gonna get comfortable, get everything set up. Testing out a new setup using Streamlabs. Usually I use OBS, so I kind of want to use this as a way to test this out and see if this all works out okay, or if I have major issues. So bear with me if there's a major disaster. Cool. Just let me know, Cam. How you guys doing? All right, just doing some last minute shenanigans and we should be ready to go. I feel like we just lost music. There we go. Yeah, OBS definitely gives me a headache as well, but you know, it's technically the best way to use this. I'm using the Streamlabs one, which has some nice features. I'm trying to do a little bit more streaming, so hopefully this works out okay and it doesn't become a huge disaster. Yeah, OBS. All right. Make sure that looks good on the screen. Had to resize everything because everything's a little bit different. So I'm going in pretty cold here. Haven't really touched the release yet, so I'm kind of curious to see what we're looking at. But hey, everybody, it's Durger Time. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be looking at the release day changes, just kind of hanging out and playing the game a little bit. I also wanted to take a look at one of the only real world release mods currently out, which is the Killing the Business mod, which has been touted as being obviously the light version of it right now, but a heavy emphasis on accuracy of stats and game balance. I'm going to be kind of curious to see how it's statted. And because I've been playing, obviously like Fleisch's mod a lot, and generally, outside of WWE, sometimes I feel like he kind of missed the mark in terms of like AEW wrestlers or things like that. So I'm going to run an AEW save. We're just going to do like a quick long play kind of thing, and we're just going to play around with it, see how we feel about the mod and where it's at and how it feels in the game, and kind of give a verdict about it. Yeah, thanks, Cams. Yeah, it nuked my data again, but I'm gonna disable, just straight up disable Windows updates, I think, at this point, because it really screwed me over, really really bad actually. But it's not a big deal because we were gonna have to rebuild these save files anyway, so it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's not going to be the end of the world. We're just going to have to bite the bullet and move everything over to 2020, which is fine. Not a big deal. Honestly, I was kind of procrastinating doing it because the save converter that's out there, I didn't really like what it was doing necessarily. It wasn't really working right for me. So I was already committed to just rebuilding all the data. So I already have a NWA data kind of set up, where I've been kind of doing what I personally want to see most mod makers do. And unfortunately, so far, looking at the editor of Killing the Business, not a lot happening there in terms of like attributes, like a few, but not a huge amount everywhere. And that's gonna be the big crux, I think, for a lot of mod makers. It's gonna be really difficult to actually make all of these workers really unique and interesting. Parker Eddie says he's been playing the KTB already. Good balance. AEW and NXT got equal show ratings, so that's good because that's about right. And Cam's Couch does not like KTB, so kind of interesting. We're gonna see. I mean, I haven't really played it at all, so I'm gonna kind of give my verdict, I guess, as I play. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and jump into a new game and take a look, see what we're looking at. It's also gonna be my first opportunity to see some of the changes in the 1.0. I've been kind of crawling through some discords, and I'm seeing mixed feelings about it so far. A lot of feelings that it's not enough. There hasn't been that much of a change, so we'll see what that looks like and if that's really the case. So let's just do AEW test, because if I do like this, I'm probably going to transfer my AEW save over to Killing the Business. And we'll go through and take a look. First screen looks nice. This main menu definitely is looking a lot better. I kind of feel like, did they kind of just rip off that blue and gold graphic skin and pretty much that's it? This is nice. I like the fact that you have these little title cards. So obviously Killing the Business did this sort of this title card about the bio book that the Young Bucks are writing. So if you're doing like a fantasy mod, it gives you a nice little splash screen to kind of talk about what you're going to be doing. I'm probably going to be working on a fantasy mod in the future once I get a handle on the editor. So I probably will do something like this. It's kind of neat. Yeah, Cams says KTB is also way too small. I agree. I'm curious to see where it goes in the future. In terms of how many people like contribute and how broad they get, because I know if I remember correctly, he had reached out on like the Fantasy Bookers subreddit and was kind of asking for people to help him like pick a specific company that they're really interested in and kind of work on. So if people jump aboard and kind of like, let's say you're like a really strong like MLW fan or Beyond Wrestling fan. Like, you're really gonna know the stats in relation to those wrestlers. So if you kind of like divvy out the workload to all those people, you might have a really strong mod eventually, like in a year, right? Where everybody's taking a piece and kind of making their little area as perfect as it can be. It could look really good. Stefan says, new to your channel, currently watch NWA Season 1, and it's great. I mean, man, it's pretty good. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the channel. You're trucking through Season 1, man. I feel like that's like the roughest that I've done, because I was just kind of learning everything. Cams also says, have you played the Real World Chronicles 2020 beta yet? No, I haven't. Haven't had a chance. Probably going to do that over the weekend, and that's probably going to be where I decide where I want to settle 2020. And I may have to look at that in terms of where I settle. I'm probably going to use it for NWA though, for sure, because it's just continuity. But you can get all the mods usually right on the Grey Dog Software website, but there are some mods you can only get on a couple other websites. So kind of I don't fear DJ. Don't worry, Darren. Yeah, I'm going to play as the Money Mark. We're going to blow all our money here. James Kyle says, Cyberpunk Wrestling Surfer Series, I watched yours. Any plans of bringing it back? Yes, in a big way. It's going to be a live-streamed show. We're probably going to do it every Thursday. Is going to be kind of the thing that I want to do. And what I want to do with it is actually take it back to the past. We're probably going to do like a 1985 save and do like a really long play. Like, I kind of expect to play it for years. So I didn't like quite where it was going in terms of the real world mod, and I felt like sometimes it was a little too difficult to make it compelling, a week in, week out kind of thing, because there wasn't a lot going on, because obviously it was a local save. But the plan will be to go through and probably do it as a live stream, and I'll probably, after the fact, if you're not joining the live stream, break it down in a couple episode chunks as a video on demand. So that's kind of the plan for Cyberpunk right now. I probably expect that out like June or July or something like that. We are officially going to kill the business in this save. We're going to play as Tony Khan. I'm going to check out AEW because I was not a fan of AEW's ratings in the Real World Chronicles save that we were doing. So I'm kind of curious to see how I feel about it over here and see if I want to transition it to this mod instead. And it also will give us a good opportunity to kind of play with the new updated game and check it out. Jacob Ayer says, does Tony Khan have a coke problem like Herb Abrams? If I am in charge of the attributes in the game, everyone will absolutely have a coke problem. So that's generally how it goes. All right, new screen. This looks good. I think this looks good. I wasn't like the hugest fan of the first screen, so this is nice. Like I said, I haven't really touched this at all, so I'm going to be kind of taking a couple seconds just to kind of go through. This doesn't make my eyes bleed anymore, which is nice. It was so bad. I can't believe they released the beta that way, that someone was like, yeah, this looks fine. I'm sure things probably haven't been changed the way I would want. Like, medical's still bland, but at least it doesn't make my eyes bleed. But it's a lot more manageable. So let's take a look at booking, and we're just gonna jump into a show. I want to see how the actual booking process feels, and oh wow, that screen looks so much better too. This loading screen is a lot sharper. Saw someone was doing something really neat with the backgrounds, with adding like really high quality graphics of like people wrestling and different workers, and that looked nice. I'm probably going to switch over to that at some point. Do have a notification just for house shows. So that's the first thing, is that AEW shouldn't have any house shows. So I guess the first knock against killing the business here is that there shouldn't be any house shows. Turn off all days. They really don't do any. Also, let's take a look at what company info do we have. So, no Young Lion system. Where do I find production? Let's see here. Industry leader, that looks fine. Size. Okay. So current size is medium, which I'm trying to remember what the hell that would be in the old old language, the old lexicon of TEW 2016. And I believe that would be cult. So that jives with me. That feels right. I would probably say AEW is a cult company. Jacob Ayers says, does Cody need to get rid of that awful neck tattoo? I literally screamed at my television when I saw that tattoo. I was so flabbergasted that he would have done that. It made me so upset that was what he thought was an acceptable look for himself. Like, I don't know. If you're gonna have a neck tattoo, you gotta have tats all over already. Like, you gotta have it make it look like something, right? Like, if like Chris Statlander had a neck tattoo, be like whatever. But he had this big, ugly logo. It looked like honestly, when I first saw it, I thought he just did like a paint job. It was so bad. But I don't know. Maybe we should start a GoFundMe to get his neck tattoo removed. But I don't think he's gonna do anything with it. Mass editing has been disabled in the editor. Well, okay. Why? That makes no sense. Yeah, no, percent. It did, like, it straight up looked fake. All right, so product. What's our product here? Style Elite Wrestling. Going to be 1830. So Wrestling Nerd Nirvana. That seems about right. Hands with me. So a lot of controversy. Oh, you know what? Also, I need to change my settings because I need to have scrolling in here. Because if I don't have scrolling, I'm going to go absolutely batshit insane. Preferences. Get rid of color text. Color lists are completely pointless. I'm sorry. I just really don't see the point. Like, I know who's injured. I know who's my champion. Oh, it still doesn't. Okay, so they haven't fixed everything because not everything actually scrolls, which is a bummer. It looks like by default they unenabled the enable new style color list, unless that's my old setting, so I might be speaking out of turn there. But go back to that product here. See how Killing the Business has it set. So Wrestling Nerd Nirvana, a lot of controversy over the product system. I'm not against this, honestly. And one of the reasons why is I think adding more requirements for a show is going to, in fact, make each company you book feel a little bit different. So I'm going to be the outlier here in the maelstrom of anger in this game, and to say that over time, I think people, I'll preface this, as long as they add more products to the game in a sizable chunk at a reasonable period of time, I think people will grow to enjoy the product system, because it does add some interesting problems to the mix that weren't necessarily there in 2016 and will make each company feel a little bit different. Definitely gonna make it harder to book, but we will see. Cam's Catch says, I like the new product system, feels realistic and distinct. I agree. Like I said, I want more products, because there are some There are some products that I feel like are missing, but as long as they hold their end of the bargain and actually update it, I'm happy with it. Response just joining in. No real. I mean, most of the beta changes are cosmetic at this point from what we had. So the new layout. Let's go ahead into the booking screen and let's book a show. I mean, I will say this game's a lot faster. All right, we got to book a dark. So backstage incident involving Rick Knox. Like I already feel like I'm gonna say that I think this skin here looks better than the default 2016 skin now. Like, they did a great job making it look clean. Could it be better? Could it be more modern? Yes, but I actually feel pretty pleased with the look of this. Rick Knox helps create a fun and relaxed atmosphere backstage after finding a discarded karaoke machine. All right. So we got some absent workers. Awesome Kong's filming, and DDP is not contracted on B shows. Not a big deal. We're going to be somewhere. Best option. Not a lot of places here set, unfortunately. Though, how many people are we going to have here? Potential fan base, very large. Popularity spillover. We have 3,500. Why don't we go to dailies? That's ours, right? That should also be set as one that we own, technically. Because I believe that's the Jacksonville Jaguars amphitheater. Right? Venue's connected to the south end of the TIA Bank Field. Which is the cool open air arena. I really dig. I wish they'd work there more. All right, so start showing major issues. One of the issues was the auto booker, and I haven't really dealt with it. Honestly, I don't auto book much anyways, especially when I'm filming here, so it doesn't really matter. But match screens look pretty much identical. They weren't the worst in the world, but the angles I found a little to be lacking, so we'll take a look in there. Let's and we gotta do a main event first, right? I'm not used to that. Let's do a triple threat tag team match. I usually book from the bottom up because I'm a psychopath. But, that's my problem, I guess. Check for view entire roster be available. Tag team. There you go. Let's do Omega, do best friends, and Proud and Powerful. Be curious to see how this stacks up, because generally in the Real World Chronicles, Hangman Page gets a very low score for some reason. So we will see how this ends up actually working. Let's do a Steal the Show match. We need to have one, and we will have Kenny Omega win. I don't think we can do death matches in AEW, but we can certainly try. Nope. Can't scroll here either. I don't know if that's if I have the settings wrong or not. Kind of annoying. Not the end of the world, but annoying nonetheless. Now, one of the other things that's a change. Yeah, so the match aims. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this, but now hardcore and deathmatch are in here, but you can't have it subcategorized, so like, you can't have a hardcore deathmatch that's also a car crash, right? I don't think. Yeah, you can only do that one, so it can only be set as Steal the Show. Penny Bren says, had the demo. It's super buggy, though. Bring up a lot of found error codes. Update to the newest beta release, or update the demo to the 1.0 release, because I wasn't having a lot of errors after maybe patch 13 or so. I do have Chuck Taylor to win. That's good eye. If you ever wonder what happens sometimes when I screw up a a booking, that's not far off. We'll do pinfall and a decisive, and that should be fine. So we get penalized for under 20, but I don't think any of these workers can do more than 20. So let's just do straight 21, and we will see how it goes. That is kind of my concern right now. I'm really not sure if it can or not. Potential title match, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Angles. So, this was one that was confusing to me, too, because they got rid of the freestyle angle button, but it's over here now. But it's not the first in the line, which I think is really weird. It's like, it defaults to it, but it's totally out of place, and I really don't understand why. Did they do anything different here, though? Not really. So I'm not a big fan of the angles here. The roster button is here, but what I would have liked is a way to just click on a person while in here. So like if I want to do a Pac freestyle, there used to be an option I could just kind of click right here. And used to be able to kind of just instantly see their roster. Not an end of the world. You can go ahead and click it here now and take a look at what their stats are, but it is kind of annoying, to be honest, that there's not a simple button there. Kind of a step back. Not the end of the world. I was hoping they changed it by main release, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's in the cards. Not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but still kind of frustrating that they had removed it. Interesting, Pac's menace in the save is only a 55. I feel like it should be higher. Cam Scotch says there is an angles pack on the forums. Any idea what's in that pack? Anything good? I'd be curious to see what they added. I just do freestyle and I just do angle writer, which is pretty much all I ever need. I find packs kind of limiting creatively, but listen, I would absolutely have Chuck Taylor beat Omega. Chuck Taylor is one of my favorite wrestlers, so and you know that would be a damn good match. All right, let's book an angle here. Probably something leading up to this match, so maybe something involving Kenny and Hangman, just to see how they do. Now, the other thing you got to remember now is that like segments with overness or entertain, like anything that's not an actual entertainment is going to actually negatively affect you if it goes on too long. So if you wanted to do like a announcement that Hangman Page and Kenny Omega are going to have a match, and you set it for 1 minute, no problem. If you do it for like 5-6 minutes, you're going to get a penalty in 2020, because realistically, it's just just a segment that's just like, yo, these guys, and it would just be a picture of them on the screen. It would be kind of boring. Yeah, Penny. Yeah, if your demo was version 9, I think it was super buggy at that point. But yeah, if you don't book in freestyle, I think you're missing out, personally. I recommend using it. These things, they're a great jumping off point, but you can have so much more freedom, and it's so much quicker to just book what you want. So even if we just want to do, like, you know, backstage segment, Kenny and Hangman get in an argument about event. Just any longer? It might be a longer segment length, which is nice. So let's have a 5-minute segment there. We're gonna do entertainment for both, and obviously we don't have any storylines set, do we? No default storylines. So we're gonna have to add some in. Kenny and Hangman. Obviously, we're just kind of dicking around with this because we're playing around, seeing how this mod feels. So a lot of these are not going to be something we're going to carry over. Though if I like this mod for AEW, I may look at it for the AEW save from 2016 to 2020, because for the most part, we're not hiring a lot of people in there, so the limitation of how many wrestlers are in there doesn't matter to me. And if I like the look of the actual stats and the way booking AEW's feels, we may go here. I'm not sure yet. Dr. Percent says, can you book it this so I can laugh at NXT for losing? Absolutely. Jake Meyer says, bring in Carmella and have her lead a thought faction. We would call it thought crimes, and they would just attack any woman that looks more attractive than them. No worries, Potsy. Welcome to the live chat. We're just dicking around here in 2020 and checking out the Killing the Business mod. So again, just gonna set up some quick storylines so we don't have anything to worry about in terms of penalties. We're not going to carry any of this over, but we do need to have some stories. It's actually probably not even enough. We need 2 storylines with at least 50 heat. We're not going to get it here, but we will book this segment. 5 minutes seems fine. So it defaults to going main event first now, which is cool. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm hoping, I haven't really checked, but I'm hoping there's a setting that reverse it. There was an option to inverse it the last time, so, you know, not a big deal. Let's do a triple threat. And let's see if we can actually get a hardcore match of some sort. Theoretically, we should be allowed to do a hardcore match with the requirements that TNT has if this is modded correctly. Because if it's being realistic, they have had light hardcore matches already, right? Especially for events, but maybe not for television in terms of blood, but we should definitely be able to do something. Not like a death match, but we should be able to do something here. So let's do Havoc, Janela, and let's see how Kip Sabian is viewed in this save. Very lowly, very low rating in the other save that I was running in Real World Chronicles. I'd be curious to see how he is doing. Oh, Luther. That's a good... Yeah. Why don't we... We'll add Kip Sabian and something else. Let's add Luther into the mix. The guy who's... has he even wrestled once in AEW, actually? I'm trying to think now. Luther's not in the save. Ooh, there's a knock. Not the most accurate roster. Unless he named something else. Yeah, Cam says Kip isn't great in real life. Yeah, I'm curious to see where he ranks in general, though. I wouldn't rate him that highly, but he shouldn't be necessarily going to like 14s, right? Maybe he's only on dark. So this definitely does look a lot sharper, though. I'm excited to see what the skin creators can do with some of this, because it definitely looks a lot better, which is nice. Oh, we wanted to make that a death match, so why don't we go back in here? Sorry, I'm juggling both the chat and this. So death matches are done over here. I doubt that they're going to let us do it. I actually don't care who wins. Let's see who gets booked it. Will not compete in a death match. Well, screw you. Then we'll... Who will? Brody Lee will. What a dumb match. Did I actually... Oh, no, it reset. I was like, there's no way he's actually going to be like, yeah, deathmatch. All right, we're just going to do 2. So annoying. People worried about your bodies. I could have actually probably put Darby Allin. Darby Allin probably would have done it no problem. But Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela definitely will not have a problem. Now, I'm curious to see if they will censor it here. Nope, no problem. Maybe too long though. 15 minutes. Let's go 10. Apparently, Luther was on Dark. I don't really watch Dark that much, so I don't know who they have on there. But to me, if you're not on the main show, you don't matter. I'm sorry. Just the way it is. Let's do a triple threat. Let's do a triple threat with a weird group. Okay, so I will say that like once you get used to this, it's not too bad. I still don't like the names of the pushes. Unimportant, recognizable, well-known star, major star. I think is the wrong terminology, and it speaks to maybe not really understanding wrestling. Like maybe that works for MMA, but the idea that, like, for example, Chris Statlander is unimportant, that speaks more to me of how they're recognized in the world, not where they are on the card. You know, so like, are they a major star on your show? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking. What do you guys think? Like, does the terminology make sense to you? To me, when I think of like where people are on the card, I think of main eventers, mid carders. Like, this terminology to me still just very confusing. Just not a big fan of it. Eight 13 says, "Are you gonna do a child promotion now that the game has a full release?" Probably. We'll have to see what we do. Let's do something really weird here. Let's do Brandon Cutler. Let's see what his stats are on here, and let's do Sunny Kiss. Again, checking out where people are in terms of their ratings on this save. Sean Spears and man, we're just making up dumb matches. Let's do Strongheart's still in here. That's weird. I'm not sure if I like his graphics in the Killing the Business mod either. I don't like the names underneath of them. I think it's a little too hard to read. It kind of ends up looking like it's a stock photo. It's a nice idea, but I don't know if it necessarily works. Where is Dark Order? How come we don't have a Dark Order tag team in here? Are they not available right now? The Evil Uno? Oh, maybe not. Maybe there's not on the show. So perceptions definitely fit in wrestling. Okay, well, how the audience use them. I guess I just have to get used to the terminology. Jonathan says, doesn't look like a huge graphical update. Kind of looks dated. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to be playing around with making my own skin, I think, because I kind of want to do one based on like Motorsport Manager, because I think there is a way to make this look a little bit sharper, pretty simply. So I'll be playing around with that and seeing how it goes. Let's just get heels only. Oh, there it is. That's why I was in faces only. Dark Order. There you go. Galaxy Pack does look pretty good. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the pictures in this. I just don't think this. I like the idea of showing the nationality, though. I think that's cool, but I think there's a better way to do it. All right, book this match. Let's do 12 minutes, and let's have it work the crowd, and we will have Colt Cabana win. Do we want to do any? anything else in here that we can set up? Do an open match just to make it that everyone gets a win. See how they feel about that. Seems fine. And we have 57 minutes, so we're pretty much in there. We need we have too many matches. We need a angle. So let's do a Dark Order segment. Let's do Evil Uno. Brody, put him on. For some reason he's allowed on Dark. I don't know why. Video. Brody Lee sells his pyramid scheme. Yoga pants or whatever. Whatever he's doing. I don't know. Have him do set from microphone. And what is Uno's ability here? Menace 55. Entertainment acting. His acting ability is not too bad, so we will do acting. And probably Menace for Grayson. See how that works out. That puts us at 62, exactly within the limits. Let's see how it books. Yeah, it's not a dynamite. We're just bugging nonsense. Jacob Ayer says, what do you think AEW could be doing better they aren't doing now? I mean, there's a lot of things I think they could be doing better. I'm trying not to judge them right now during the pandemic, though, because obviously they don't have a full roster. I think the Dark Order gimmick is kind of a bust at this point. And I think they have too many factions. I think they need to basically probably disband the Elite, because I don't think it really works anymore. Dark Order. I think the idea of the faces having their own team, I mean, obviously they're working towards kind of disbanding it already. I just don't think it really works very well. But right now, I think they're not doing too bad. It's hard to judge them without taking into account that they don't even have their whole roster anymore. Now, okay, so improvise well, Brody Lee improvise well. So we got a 45. Not horrendous, but you know, not bad. Not great though. But that seems about right. Let's see. We've got a bonus for decent improvising. Decent improvising. Got a bonus from legendary gimmick. Okay. So let's see. They were already hot and did not need to be worked because they got hot from that timeshare segment, please. Okay. I don't know why. But 43 for this. So Sonny Kiss at a 24. I feel like that's right. Brandon Cutler having a 32 feels high to me. Cabana at a 51. Stu Grayson. So far, I don't hate these stats. They seem about right. One of the things I think people are going to have to get used to is I feel like in general 2020 kind of rates the segments a little bit lower than you would normally expect, which is fine. It's just a different thing. Colt Cabana benefited from having groundswell of public support. That's an interesting new one. They can need better women's wrestling, says Jacob. Oh yeah, I mean that is definitely a problem with them right now. But that, what the hell happened here? 27. I think we have an in-ring performance of 63. Janela has 68. The match was very inappropriate for the audience and killed the match. Is that realistic for AEW? They have done a Dynamite, or they have done a hardcore match before, but did they really hate it? I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but that's not really the mod maker. That's sort of the game's interpretation of the product. We got Kenny and Hangman having a segment backstage doing a 79. Performance was good. Omega clearly enjoyed a freedom going off script, as did Hangman. Yeah, this seems right. In the main event, we had a 63. So Kenny at an 85 feels probably right. Hangman at a 66, this feels better rated. I feel like that's about right. 59 for Beretta, 49 for Chuck. I think that's a little low, but I feel like he should be probably at 55. 63 and 61 for Santana or Ortiz also feels pretty good. Honestly, I don't hate the ratings here looking at this. Chuck Taylor was really off his game. Matches are better announcing. So Chuck Taylor probably would have had a 55 and be right there. Match dragged at the end, went too long for the workers, really keep an all-out pace. Yeah, that makes sense. Got the crowd buzzing. So a lot of bonuses in the dirt sheet here. Yeah, no, I think remembering it, I remember people being upset at the hardcore match. For some reason, it wasn't even really that bloody. Like, it was a pretty tame death match, right? Like, am I just inoculated from watching a lot of CZW and Tournament of Death? Like, I mean, most of it was fake. Like, it wasn't even like a real, you know, a real set of it here, in terms of like a lot of glass was clearly fake. It wasn't real. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy on it. Is Killing the Business mod? How is NWA here? Says Andre. Let's take a look at this after we book a Dynamite, and we'll take a look at how NWA fares into Killing the Business mod. Be curious about that as well. I'm not going to use it for my NWA save though, because I need as many actual wrestlers as possible, and I feel like the weakness of this save, or this mod right now, is there are not a lot of wrestlers. So this was nice that you can actually have Dark and Dynamite back to back, because obviously Dark is taped in advance the night of, makes it a little bit realistic. And I'm assuming we're going to be in the same location. You technically do separate locations, which is weird. Oh, wait, and you can only set your destination for tonight. You cannot. Cool. That's neat. That's realistic. I like that. Yeah, I feel like wrestling fans got wimpy or something when they were watching that death match, because it was, you know, not very. I don't know. It just seemed very tame to me overall. All right. Let's. Here's what I'm gonna do. I want the auto booker to just. Ooh, this is different. This looks a little bit different. Okay. Book the whole show. Let's go. Book 9 segments at 25 minutes with 2 pre. See how this looks. Cannot start from major. Not booked enough shows to fill the time. So again, still not doing very well here in terms of pre-booking. I'm not impressed with this. Pre-book. Add another match. Other available matches. Let's do 2 out of 3 falls. There's everything. There we go. Do a battle royal. See how the battle royals do now, because they were having problems earlier. It says people complain about the match and even Blade in a ridiculous show. How people are sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. You got like pansies sometimes. It's really weird. It's like that chair shot where the thing screwed up and they had a gimmick chair shot to the head with Cody. And everyone was freaking out as though, you know, someone got murdered. I'm like, an accident happened. They said that it was a gimmick, like it's not the end of the world. I mean, I get not wanting to do chair shots to the head, but whatever. All right, who are we gonna put in this? Let's go down to our unimportant bracket here. All male for now. Or Blade, unimportant. Throw all these schmucks in here. Oh, Lindemann. Feel like he's not even on anymore. There we go. And Kip Sabian. Oh, actually, let's get Sunny Kiss out there. I want to see how Wardlow looks. We're gonna make Wardlow win. We're gonna do work the crowd, and we're gonna have Wardlow win. Oh, did I not say that? Oops. Whoopsie. They have just garbage match here. But we'll have Wardlow win. The other options here, nothing new in terms of Battle Royal. Most eliminations still have some options. I kind of would have wished that they added spots in the matches. So like say, oh, a chair is used in this match. Oh, a table is used, and add a little bit more variety. I don't care who is the runner-up. That's fine. Okay. I filled in all the match completion. Runtime 10 minutes. I did. Did I not fill one in? Okay. Here, Austin Gunn. Congratulations. Oh, damn it. That's the other thing. I don't remember having to save all the time. Kind of tricky. Let's bring that down to the bottom. Oh, no, we're there. We're at the pre-show. Must need a cut 2 minutes to proceed. We'll cut this angle down a little bit. Perfect. Okay. I know there was a warning. I don't care. Do I have Alex Reynolds winning? That's funny. Did I do it again? SU versus Dark Order. Looks fine. Private Party. Need more guys like Jack Evans. Or is it me, or do you cringe every time you see Shawn Michaels and Triple H on NXT just stroking their egos? I mean, yeah, it's a cheap pop, I don't know. I'm still a sucker for Shawn Michaels anything, but at this point, it does feel real gimmicky to have him in there. Wardlow's not going to win because I screwed that up. Well, Alex Reynolds, congratulations, you won a Battle Royal. We didn't get to see their performances, unfortunately, but 47 is actually surprisingly high for the jobbers. And just want to see how the actual game books this. Doesn't seem horrendous, but it didn't do our story segments, right? So we actually got penalties. We don't have enough storylines. We didn't have a steal the show. It didn't do a wild brawl. So all the talk about the better auto booker, it didn't actually give us any matches for the aims that we needed, which is weird. So I'm kind of bummed that they have not fixed that yet. Someone had asked what other things AEW was doing wrong personally. One of my issues with AEW right now was their mid-card title. I think the TNT title, who they're going to give it to, is really stupid. I don't think it should go on, it shouldn't go on Lance Archer, and it shouldn't go on Cody. I think that entire tournament. Now, it's hard to judge because, again, with the problem with the pandemic, not all your wrestlers are around, so sometimes it's a matter of who you have. But I think who they had in that entire tournament was misplaced, and sets the wrong message for what you want for a mid-card title. Check NXT's rating. Yeah, let's take a look at what NXT did. see how the auto booker did. It was technically auto booker versus auto booker. So NXT Wrestling Report, they had a 72. Main event being Charlotte Flair defeating Mia Yim, and Breezango defeating Undisputed Era. Oh, getting a host of who should be TNT champions. Orange Cassidy, MJF, or Darby. Yeah, all of those would be great choices. I have a Armchair Booker episode currently being written. I'm probably going to release it right after Double or Nothing to have the conclusion set up. But it's about who I would have as the winner of the TNT Championship, and actually how I would book the entire tournament. Who I would have in it instead, and why I would have people going over. So keep a lookout for that. So they had they only had 1,000 people in attendance. Actually, I feel like that's high for that location. Oh, they held it in a Metroplex. That's why. We had 3,000 people with a 64. So I feel like NXT is probably rated better in this mod than AEW is, which is probably right. Because honestly, I think a problem with AEW is they have a strong main event, but I think they have a very weak under mid card. And they're getting better, and obviously they're hiring younger talent, and that's only going to improve in time. But so this seems, I don't know. So far, I'm actually not hating this mod. I think its ratings seem pretty okay. Let's jump out of this real quick. I kind of want to see what NWA looks like. Because obviously NWA is one that we play a lot of on this channel. And I would like to see what the NWA looks like on this mod. Then ask, would you equate their mid-card title to end up being more like the IC title in New Japan? Shinsuke completely elevated. Cody could too. I mean, you could, but like you're starting out with a title. Like, to me, a mid-card title should be about giving credibility to a specific competitor to say he's ready to jump over, which is why in New Japan they have the idea of the weight divisions, right? You have the junior heavyweights and into the heavyweights, and the junior heavyweights aren't just for the high flyers. I mean, certainly they are there, but also is about saying that they can move up to the main event and give a credibility for why they weren't there before. So the idea that Cody, who's like your top 3, top 4 guy, gets your brand new title, I don't think it necessarily elevates it. I think it doesn't hurt it, but it just it doesn't help him any, and it doesn't actually help the belt any. It just sort of exists. Same thing with Lance. The Lance Archer's a main eventer, essentially, like he should be. So giving him the title, what's it do? Well, it makes another challenge for a mid-carder to overcome, and that's great, but you already had a challenge to overcome, which was called the tournament. So it's kind of redundant. It's like passing the buck down, or it's like you're moving the goalpost of why it's credible and why it's important. I think a mid-card title should be about saying that this particular youngster, this particular lower card guy is ready to jump up to the main level, or to give someone that's a little bit fresher a huge boost of credibility. Check the workers for Luther. We should check no Luther in the save at all. We are looking for Billy Corgan. Plays his character. Play as owner of NWA. Cody's a 3-star general. That's what I will say, Silver Fox. He is very, very capable at being solid. He will never be great, even though I think he is a great character. As a wrestler, I think he's fine. TNT Championship should be placed on someone like Scorpio Sky. Sure. Jacob asks, who do you think AEW should bring in from the guys WWE just fired? Rusev. Probably would be my number one pick. Guy that's horribly underutilized, that could definitely become a huge deal. He's proven that he can take, well, one, that he's immensely creative and immensely charismatic. He has a menacing presence. He's got a great style in the ring, and he has the ability to adapt and change and make almost any gimmick work. He would be a fantastic addition wherever he went, but I think he would be a great addition to AEW. Oh, it might be under Dr. Luther. Good point, Fine Production. Let's take a look into Workers Field and see if that is the case. Dr. Wagner. No, I don't see Dr. Luther. I think Luther's gone. I don't think they added him into the game, unfortunately. All right. So, let's see what we got here. One of the things that I know I've talked about this a lot, but one of the things I think mod makers are not doing yet, and it makes me upset that I'm hearing from mod makers that they're probably not going to do it, is the attribute system. So that's why when I'm going through my saves, it's going to take a little bit longer because I am adding attributes to everybody. And that doesn't just mean drug users. But adding, every single person should have a specific characteristic, because that's really how the game is designed, to make people feel unique. And if you play a lot of the Cornell-verse over time, what you're probably going to see is you're going to see these wrestlers really feeling interesting and have unique personalities that play differently. You're not going to get that in a lot of saves unless people actually do something with the attributes. And so, like, what we have here is we have, like, the basic ones, which is just to say they're ones that carried over from the translation. They're not the additional attributes that add personalities, backgrounds, things like that, that are going to make each wrestler actually feel unique. That's kind of a bummer that we're not seeing it here yet. Danhausen should be brought in. I agree. Joseph Bailey says he would bring Rusev into the NWA if I was Corgan. Like, maybe in our last episode, Billy Corgan was in, I don't know, Bulgaria, looking for a potential person to align with. Parker says, I signed Heath Slater in my NWA save right away. You need a comedy match each show. Cam says, attributes are a lot of work. That's why people won't add them, or at least be in depth. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And that sucks, but that's also, like, honestly, I think it's if you were to ask me a bullet point of, like, what is great about this game over 2016, I would say the attributes actually make those characters come to life. And the fact that a lot of mod makers are not going to do it, it sucks. Doesn't need to be in everybody, but I would say pretty much every major company, like it, NWA, like, I went through my save already, and I've given everybody in my 2020 update a pretty extensive attribute list, as well as going through NWA or AEW in the save, and I'm probably going to do that for New Japan and WWE. Does it have to be in every independent? No, because obviously attributes will show up over time as people kind of gain them, but it's kind of a bummer we're not seeing that in these mods day one. We do have the question mark. So actually, one thing I want to try, I haven't done it. Allegedly, you can have them play multiple people on the same show. So why don't we try to do that? Let's go and advance over to the next show here. Yeah, and I mean, like, it's not a big deal because I'm adding it to my saves, but I think it's a bummer if it's something that you're playing and you're like wondering why these characters feel stale. It's because these attributes aren't being added, and I know Real World Chronicles isn't going to add them very likely. I know the Who save, he's already told me that he just straight up not going to use attributes at all. Now, I think a lot of the problem is that there's not an easy way to fill it. It'd be nice if there was a system in place that you could kind of seed attributes randomly. Would be nice just to give people personality, even if you don't want it to be um you know realistic. What the hell happened here? AEW has a new CEO. What what what? What just happened? What happened over there? It was day one in the save. How does that happen? There's now a change in ownership. Okay, someone's gonna have to look into that. Tony Khan, one day into the save, just got ousted from his own company. um. All right, that's interesting. Currently booking Power, except for 1 hour. They film it on Saturdays. I didn't know that. Still Takeover Brothers is Jacob, maybe. All right, so one thing I wanted to see. Well, first of all, let's see how many people are going to be here. 298 fans seems realistic. That seems about right. Yeah, so if you're downloading this mod, if there's not an update already, you might want to go and fix Tony Khan, because otherwise he'll get ousted immediately, apparently. So one of the things I wanted to try, I haven't done, is you're supposed to be able to have multiple matches with people with masks. So make something like a Chikara, where there's people that have like 4 different personas. Should be able to have that happen. So let's have a question mark versus it's Ricky Starks. Let's see how Ricky Starks is set here. No way they're going to go for that long. We will have question mark win. I don't need to change anything else here. Now, I think there's a way to book another one, but have them be a different character. So how do you do it, though? Has anyone tried that yet? I wonder how you set it, because you are supposed to be able to kind of have them flip between their personas if they want to. Yeah, it's that. Alter Ego? That is Josephus. That change it? No. Is it just in a roster, maybe? Uh, I wonder how you do it. Alter Egos, Josephus. No, it doesn't change it. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to have people wrestle or be able to have them change alter egos on the fly. Maybe in talking? I don't think so, though. No, no. Booking. Put another team over. No. Let's take a look in the old handbook here. Workers. Acting, active areas, morale. I have to manually change it during the show. So I was thinking, but I don't see a way to actually, in a match, do it. Right? So we have... Click the yellow text above the pick. Yeah, but there's no way to do it during a match. Let's see. Load alter ego. Did I just save that? No. Okay. So let's see now. So question mark versus them. I now then do poor Josephus going to do double duties versus Matt Cross. It's gonna be like a short match. There we go. I think we got it. I think we figured it out. Elected question mark versus Ricky Starks is gonna be main event. Let's lower that a little bit. I gotta get used to booking from the top up. So let's see everybody's favorite. Everyone's favorite in my saves. Tim Storm versus Nick Aldis. The Pillars. There's no way Tim Storm can go 15 minutes. Let's go 12. Let's try to steal the show. Let's have Nick Aldis win. And have an open match. Also, you can apparently do it while booked. The show's running. And go back to the roster change. Interesting. Alright. Potential title match. Yeah, let's put the title on the line. Why not? Does have the correct name. A lot of saves, a lot of mods I've found have it set as the NWA World Heavyweight title. It is actually the World's Heavyweight title. Don't know why, but you're not just the champion of Earth, you're the champion of every world out there in the NWA. Very important to remember that. What else do we need? We need let's do a women's match. Do a 4-way. Let's see how the ladies in the Killing the Business mod are set. So I'm going to only put people that we currently have in our save, and I'm just curious to see how they do. Let's give them 8 minutes. And let's say there's eye candy matches. So this is where your sub settings are. NWA Arenas Championship. Jacob asks, hey Durger, when you start your NWA save, can you bring in Japanese wrestlers? Yeah, that would be cool. We could look at maybe adding an alliance to a Japanese promotion, like a smaller one. Would be kind of neat. I would not be opposed to that. Be kind of fun. Careful with a 10-minute match on a 60-minute show. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I don't care who wins. We'll set it regular. No. Oh, yes, I mean. Ricky Starks we have... Actually, no, we'll do We'll do this to be work to crowd then. Now let's add some. All right, we got 42 minutes. We're taking up 100%. Let's get some angles in there, and we'll cut some time if we need to. Not a big deal. Like I said, I'm not that concerned because we'll be fine. Check Eddie Kingston's microphone rating. Have him blast somebody. Let's do him and Eli Drake go back and forth. We got plenty of time. We do a 12-minute segment. Eli Drake and Eddie Kingston have a rap battle. Why not? I would watch that. I would pay to watch that. Still at another thing. Let's see how Nick Aldis's overness is. Nick Aldis match announced. We'll do 1 minute. Do that right after. We have 5 more minutes. We still have a lot more. Let's cut some time out of the question mark Ricky Starks match. Let's do like minimum 4 minutes or something like that. Just recommended Pro Wrestling Noah as one of the Alliance members. That'd be pretty cool. Durger, when you start your NWA save, can you bring in Ace Austin? Absolutely. I will gladly do that for you. Actually, would not be a bad addition, honestly. Would be pretty good, like, mid-card character for us. We need another segment. Let's do... There's, where's Ricky Morton's partner? Robert Gibson, right? I think. We're to test out their entertainment abilities. How much time we got? We got do 10 minutes. Send our loss backstage. How got to the arena. There you go. This is dumb. Perfect. What are we? Star Show, some booking analysis has some issues. Where is our analysis, actually? Currently at 62. Only expecting 35% matches in this one. So definitely a different feel. We're at 59%. Sangredo in my NWA series. If he's available in America, I could also see that being a good addition. Maybe if we introduce a UK champion, that would be interesting. We're just gonna run this. Why don't we just run this? I don't. Well, you know what? Actually, we can add one more dumb angle or something. Let's do. Oh, let's see what Billy Corgan's ratings are on here. Rambles in an interview about smashing pumpkins and chai tea. Yep. Drinking Portland. Perfect. And let's get Dave Marquez microphone. And let's see how this works on here for us. And we're just gonna run it. All right. So Marty Bell's 24, 29 Rosa, 23 Vox, 26. About same as Real World Chronicles, and probably about right. I think Thunder Rosa is probably a little underrated on here, but Marty Bell's a little bit higher rated than. Oh, David Marquez is set as our road agent. That seems wrong. Who's NWA's real road agent? Because I don't think it's Marquez. I think Marquez is a personality and a money guy. Billy Corgan's very poor when trying to improvise dialogue. Marquez did not know. Boy, this is still a disaster. Penalized for improvising badly. Penalized for low locker room morale. So about right there, I guess. We got a 43 for the Nick Aldis segment, just saying, hey, he's going to be here for 1 minute. We got a 52 for the segment of Robert Morton or Eddie Morton and Robert Gibson are lost backstage because they're old and confused and don't know how they got to the arena. Gibson was terrible with no script to follow. His dialogue was a mess. It's interesting it doesn't default to scripting, something I have to get used to. Josephus versus Ricky Starks. So here we go. So here's the problem: is he should have been question mark, right? And he wasn't. Our rap battle's pretty good though. So still got to figure out how to do that. It kind of makes running a Chikara save pretty difficult unless you have to do it literally each time. And everyone's disappointed. Everything looked worse. And I got a rating of 20. I'm definitely not running NWA on this mod. I can tell you that right now. Oh, man. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there are problems with... It does say he's a road agent. I don't think Marquez is a road agent for NWA, though. There we go. Cam's got it. Is it Bill Burns or Matt Conway? Yeah, I like... So, for a mod that says it wants to really be authentic, I'm not sure if the... I don't know if it's there yet, is all I'm going to say. I mean, some of these stats look alright, but I think in terms of accuracy of the game world, it has something that needs a little bit more time in the oven. Not horrible, though, and definitely a decent mod to play, I think. But the game world is a little lacking. Like, if we look at... Let's... Oh, we have all of these other shows. Let's go back out of here. I think it's okay that the game allows you to pre-book multiple shows, but honestly, it's something I'm not going to do, even if I'm running, like, NXT or AEW, or not AEW, but, like, NWA. I know that they pre-book their shows, but I don't want to book 4 shows at once. This doesn't work for me. It's not kind of how I like to play the game. You might didn't use it while playing using the on-the-fly booking tool. Have the first match, then switch over. It's possible. Let's go back into the AEW test real quick. I just want to take a look at this roster settings here. Oh, and I think I figured out what was wrong. For this, I think I do need to disable colored text to scroll in most of them. I mean, most things work, but anything that had a colored text in there would not work. So, unfortunately, like, these still don't... this still doesn't scroll, though. That sucks. I can't believe that somehow is a restriction of the coding of the game. It seems like such a silly thing to be unable to do. Like, you could use your... Well, actually, this screen's better anyways, but seems like a weird thing. So this mod has less companies than most. NXT UK, Stardom, has AJPW, New Japan. I mean, it has the ones that I would say are like the bigger ones. What's WW? Oh. Yeah, like these pictures, they look neat at first, but then when they're actually smaller, I think you lose something here. Maybe we can make a Discord save with each member of a Discord owning a different company. That would be awesome. I wouldn't even play one. I would like to just pop in and observe it as a uh, casual observer to see what drama you guys get into. So if you guys end up starting to do it, um, that would be neat. Joseph says, "Mod Guy just released an update and new skins for what it's worth." Yeah, it would be something to take a look at. But yeah, we're missing CCW at this point. We're missing Dragon Gate, DDT. There's quite a bit that we're missing here. I mean, some don't matter because they kind of roll over. But I would say this is a little underwhelming in terms of the amount of roster currently. Let's look at Chikara. Actually, there is no Chikara. There is no Chikara wrestling at all. Huh. That's something. Can we check out GCW? Sure. Take a look at who we have. Not super familiar with their roster. Obviously got Nick Gage. I think I know Shane Mercer. Yeah, I'm not sure about this mod, to be honest. I'm not necessarily feeling its stats here. I do have to say though, for the release day, I think they've done some decent stuff here. No promises set up. I mean, just the screens look a lot better, which is nice. No tournament set, no creative. Let's see what our creative looks like here. Also nice is that Hidden Gems doesn't take 45 minutes to load, but it might just because there's so few people on this mod. I kind of get not Dragon Gate or not DDT because I feel like there's not that many people out there that really have that strong of a familiarity. But I feel like Chikara is kind of like an internet darling. But I don't know. Dr. Persona's flexing in chat saying he knows his roster and he hasn't even watched GCW. And Cam says still destroyed by the Real World Chronicles beta. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the beta. So in terms of what we're doing here on the channel, I'll give you guys a bit of an update. What we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer over the save files. We're not gonna sorry, I should say we're not transferring the save files. I'm going to use the mods, and I'm going to just go ahead and rebuild where I have it. So, for example, I already have the NWA set up, though I think I'm going to look at the current beta of the Real World Chronicles and see what it looks like in there. And I've set up so that the NWA has the same stats that we were at the time. I still have to tweak who the default announcers are because I have to add back in some people. And what I've done is I've started to go through the workers and I've started to give them attributes. So tweaked their popularity to where they were while we were playing. For the most part, some of them kind of keeping generally where they were. But we've gone through and added attributes to everybody, so that we can kind of have a pretty interesting, realistic gameplay. Everyone wants me to play GCW. I don't know anything about GCW. I got nothing to do for that. So not an area I'm very strong on. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up kind of going through. I'm gonna end up, before I run an NWA save, I'm gonna make sure that workers for New Japan, WWE, NXT, and NWA, and probably Impact all have personality traits, at least some of them, and that should at least give a foundation where the game world feels a little bit believable. I'm probably going to rebuild that in the Real World Chronicles beta, so that we have the same mod running. And I still haven't decided where I'm going to bring the AEW save, but it's probably going to be a little bit later. And the NXT save, obviously, we're building in the Miracle on Bourbon Street. It's like CZW, but less violent. Then what's the point? But actually, I'm probably going to end up calling it here for the look. I just wanted to kind of jump in here and play around and test out, obviously, the Streamlabs, and test out that mod. I think we did a pretty good amount here in terms of just kind of playing around and looking at it. So I think we'll call it for here. Look back, probably in a couple weeks, we're going to start a weekly actual live stream of the Cyberpunk game. I'm just waiting for a beta of any type of historical mod. At this point, I'll take one. But we're kind of waiting for that to kind of come into fruition, so that we'll have, probably going to do like a Thursday night save. Also, if you guys are interested in just hanging out, I'm going to be doing another live stream later today. It's going to be another corn stream where we're going to be playing Jackbox with some friends. So you guys are welcome to jump in and join. We will be playing around and just goofing off a little bit and unwinding, since we can't see each other. So kind of look forward to that. Other than that, though, expect some new NWA content next week from the channel as I get the mods set up. So it might just take a little bit of time, probably over the weekend, to get things to my liking. And then we will convert over and start playing from there. Thank you guys for joining me today. I will see you around. Peace. No, I will not play Twitch swings. I will not do it. I'm never going to sing on the actual thing. Sorry.